Friend, lover, and pig farmer. These are just a few things one dreams of being referred to throughout their life. Well, thanks to Ranch Simulator, I will be able to cross them all off my list. What started out as an innocent venture into the world of animal husbandry turned out to be yet another thing I can feel ashamed of. Before we get started, I do want to warn you that there are a lot of pigs in this video and a lot of pigs being killed. I myself am a vegetarian and do not condone animal cruelty at all, but as this is a computer game, I can make exceptions. I think of it as Grand Theft Auto, but instead of shooting people, you shoot pigs. And instead of stealing cars, you shoot pigs. And instead of missions to earn money and gain fame, you shoot pigs. You get the idea. Now, give your kitty a kiss on the head and cover their eyes as we dive into the story of the worst pig farmer in the world. You start your journey by creating the character of your dreams, which in my case was the reoccurring one that I wake up from screaming every night in a cold sweat and wee-soaked trousers, but it's a dream nonetheless. You start outside what I can only assume to be a ranch.
Who doggy?
And are given the rundown of the controls. It has a jump function. What kind of game would not include that basic command? Jalopy. Add it to your game. It's a basic function in the majority of first and third person style games. Anyway, I digress. Inside a nearby barn, shed, maybe it's a barn, I don't know, it's a building. You are forced into a contract of ownership of the ranch by a cleverly worded note that your grandfather left for you. He goes on to tell you that he did not have the time or opportunity to deal with the ranch. I mean, A, that's the kind of excuse I give to people when they ask why I have a stack of plates in my bed. And B, the note sounds like it was wrote from beyond the grave. I did not have the time or opportunity as I was dead. Outside the building you find a tent, which is also the thing you need to use when you want to save your game. I found out this the hard way after playing 3 hours solidly and assuming it would save automatically upon quitting. I exited the game. No, you must click the tent and save or you're in trouble. After frustratingly doing the same few steps 3 times before discovering the said save function, you stand before the house your grandfather probably painstakingly built with his bare hands. At this point it does look a little like a building from the Resident Evil series, but it still beats sleeping in a tent. Oh wow, look at this place. It's exactly how I remember it, only tidier, and there's no photos of cats hanging on the walls. In the attic you find the chest that belonged to your grandfather. Inside is a gun, some bullets, money, and another note. Take this revolver into the forest. Okay, I don't like where this is going, Grandpa. There are many wild animals. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you wanted me to go and end it all, but you just want me to go randomly shooting animals in the forest with a revolver. Well, that sounds like the request of a perfectly sane man. Anyway, blah blah blah, money, kind of you, and a UTV. What the heck is a UTV? Ultimate Tango videos? Ultra technical violin? I can't say I'm happy about this one, as golf was about as exciting as laying in the middle of a busy road to me, but I'll humour you as this was part of your dying wish, you sad and easily amused old man. Wait, this better not be another plot to get me to drive a family member around. After fixing the golf cart, you have a series of tasks that include filling the car up with fuel, adding a radio to the vehicle that you'll never use, buying a serial killer starter kit, buying some chickens to start your ranch life officially, and tending to the chickens' every need by feeding them, giving them water, and building a house for them that doubles as a garage for your car. You then return to the house your grandfather built, only to be tasked to tear it all down as it's beyond repair. Or more likely you can't be bothered to fix it up and prefer sleeping in a tent. Well, that is where the tutorial ends for me. I refuse to destroy such a beautiful building. Instead, we'll make use of it by turning it into a home for ourselves and our animals. I think it's a safe bet to go with the idea of being a pig farmer, as my parents were both pigs. We'll start our pig empire by making a few essential items inside the building, including a water bowl for all their drinking and swimming needs, a food trough so unlike me they can eat things that haven't been on the floor first, and a few slimy cupboards because, well, we need to turn the pigs into sausages in order to make money from them. We could try to train them to take office jobs, but unfortunately I think this will be a faster path to fortune. Now that the inside looks like a welcoming place, we can pimp out our car by giving it a fully functional roof that adds storage space. Yep, Works like a dream. Next, we will need to make some money to even be able to afford the pigs. So we'll mosey on down to the general store to buy some bullets so that we can go hunt us some deer for some easy cash.
Hello, what you doing?
Oh, I see how it is. Rather than handing you the goods, the lady behind the counter just throws it out the door. So even before you collect your purchases, you first have to find them hidden around the car park. I'll be back for you later. I will be back later, as I'll undoubtedly use the shop again. It wasn't a threat. See you in hell, later. Let's try to find some deer now. If we drive quietly around the forest, we're less likely to frighten them away. I have a foolproof method to prevent us from ever hitting the same tree twice. We can simply cut it down. Tell your friends what you saw today. So we haven't had much luck finding any deer yet, but what we have found is a rival's farm. I have a gas canister. If we ram our car into the house, maybe it'll blow up like an 80s action film. I know we should be hunting deer now, but I've been inspired to test the boundaries of the map. I am curious to see what is on the other side of these mountains that surround the ranch. So let's just have a little drive up the mountain and we'll drive down the other side. Oh, this is it. The edge of the map already? Usually this happens by the end of my videos. Oh, this is different. So they've made it so you teleport back to your ranch. I see how it is. Well, this is a challenge for later then. By the end of this video, I promise I will find a way of floating into nothingness for all of eternity. Or my name isn't Graham. Just so you know, my name isn't Graham. So I've technically promised nothing to you. Isn't lion fun? Quickly returning to hunting, I had some intense fights with bears, wolves, deer, and even myself as I battled my urge to play with dead things.
Stop it. Go away.
Let's take all this meat to the meat shop and sell it so we can buy some pigs. Nice. This isn't even enough for one pig. However, it is enough money to at least buy some coolers. So now we can transport our illegally hunted meat and keep it fresh, instead of delivering it festering with maggots. Let's try some missions out instead to see the earning power behind these. There were a couple of questionable quests from a hunter, which included shooting some wolves and teaching a rabbit how to hop. The hunter was so impressed with my jumping skills that he saw it wise to give me an even bigger gun. With how easily it was to obtain a gun from a complete stranger, I figured this game must be based somewhere in America. God bless America. Other quests included ripping down an old lady's windmill, which to be honest I was thinking of doing before she even offered to pay me, so it kinda worked out for the best. We've made a few $100s with all these quests. Let's stock up on all the supplies one could ever need for a pig empire. It's also time to get our first 2 residents, one of which I'll name after much thought, Kevin Bacon, and the second, haven't used up all my creative juices on the first name, Tim. So we've made it back to the house. Come inside, piggies. Come inside, I said. Okay, don't tell me you can't use the stairs. After a few experimental methods on how best to get them into the house, I decided to build a simple ramp, which worked wonderfully except for the fact Kevin and Tim had developed behavioural problems and started rebelling against the system. Not that way, Kevin. Oh, for f***'s sake, Tim, get back up the ramp. Having finally made it inside, I hope now would be the time for them to make some piglets. So I looked back at my notes from 6th year biology class to get a better understanding of the whole process. From what I gathered after deciphering all my notes and doodles of cats with human faces, love making was a strange and terrifying ordeal that a couple who cared very deeply about each other would subject each other to. So I gave them a bucket of wine to make it easier on them both before giving them privacy by laying in my bed with my eyes tightly closed, crying to drown out the sound of their beautiful night together. Upon daybreak, I was disappointed to find still only 2 pigs. I did what any rational person does when they're disappointed beyond belief. I bought a truck. I filled it with grains and got it stuck in a tree. That was pretty much the end of my truck. It was as pointless of a purchase as it was to include it in this story. However, not all was bad, as returning to the house I discovered, wait for it, piglets. Yeah. Okay, I showed them before I said it. I kind of ruined the anticipation there. Anyway, I had piglets. Kevin and Tim had done well. Excited by the birth of Henry, Beatrice and Tim Jr., I went on a spending spree and bought a trailer for my golf cart and some supplies to build some grain silos and a water pump. Any automation in a game is always a huge plus for me, as I'm extremely lazy. Yeah, just plain old lazy. There's nothing else to say. I did some quick maths and realised that in order to have more piglets, I would need more pig mothers. We could just load them onto this convenient trailer to transport them back to our house. Okay, great, that worked about as well as pissing into the wind. They've apparently all fallen off. It really was almost like the opposite of convenient. At this point, let's just cut our losses and change vehicle. Why is nothing ever straightforward? Having broken my fall by landing on my neighbour, I returned to the car dealer to buy my first ever truck. What do you mean I had one before? You're imagining things. Anyway, we're going to need to find all the pigs that we've misplaced. This could take some time, and we're done. I've had a pretty wild idea for a side business. If we buy a bunch of chickens and give them a gentle nudge towards running into the wild, run little chickens, live the best life you can. No FOMO for you. Then they will hopefully be self-sufficient and we can come back every so often to collect the eggs. I feel like this is a really good idea. It's the first time I've done something selfless that has resulted in only a few casualties. Right, let's get these piggy wiggies back home then, shall we? Oh dear, one of the pigs has had an accident resulting in an untimely death. An accident, I said. Luckily now we can experiment with the food creation process. We take the meat and just cram it into this thing and turn it into a delicious pot of sludge. We can form the sludge into little meat snowmen, which we can either smoke or turn into a sausage. Well, we could have made it into a sausage if we didn't remove it from the pot first, because it turns out you can't place it back into the pot for some reason. Come on, Ranch Simulator devs, get your act together. Tim, you aren't helping. Tim, get down. I went ahead and built a little gate and stairs to get the pigs inside easier. The kid in me likes to build things, but the adult in me feels dead inside. Let's return to the store to buy some more supplies for this pig thing we have going on. What? Oh my. Oh, that's not good. It's like this scene from Saving Private Ryan on the beach. You know, but with chickens. Turns out, much like real chickens, these are too stupid to survive in the wild on their own. I guess I should have left out some food. Better late than never, I say. It's not all doom and gloom though. We now get the chance to do one of the biggest Easter egg hunts in history. Only instead of cute Easter bunnies, there's a lot of dead chickens hiding the eggs. Hold on a minute, we forgot about the pigs. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Piggies! Anyway, we're fine. I can't count, but I think there's more of them. While we're here, we might as well make use of the utilities and hide our crimes against the animal kingdom by turning the chickens into happy little sausages. Saucies! Let's go sell what we have and buy more chickens. This time I made a cool gate around the store to stop them being so wild. I mean, what a dumb idea that was. I just knew it wasn't going to work. For the next few days, I lived, breathed, and slept like a chicken. I had become the chicken king. You know your empire is doing well when you have a massive amount of lag. It just means your computer is having trouble comprehending your genius. Speaking of genius, let's try to find a new fuel efficient way to travel. I'm thinking if we put our car onto our trailer and then try and attach it. Yep, okay, that works. We just have no control over the direction we're heading, much like my life. I had noticed earlier that the truck doesn't have a trailer attachment knob thingy-mabob, so we can try to get around this little oversight by carefully driving the golf cart into our truck. That way it can tow the trailer behind the truck. I won't lie, I'm surprised at how well this is working. Well, was working. How well this was working. Okay, yeah, I wanted it to do that. Fun and danger go hand in hand when you're working on my ranch. Let's not throw all the safety out the window though, and let's make a seatbelt out of logs. Well, I feel much safer already. Whee! Well, the car's out of fuel and the truck is stuck in some trees again. For the same reason my parents had another child after me, we'll just buy a new UTV and pretend none of this ever happened. I'm in need of wood for a side project I'm working on. I can't tell you what it is because it's a secret, but it's a cool secret. If I get 100 likes on this video, maybe, just maybe, I'll show you what the secret is. Let's call it bribery. Friendly, authentic bribery. I've also bought a pressurized gun. Let's test it on this bear as I don't want to put my animals through any unnecessary pain. Everyone knows a boy must fight a bear in a timber yard to become a man. This will be a long and slightly disturbing battle of not just our physical self, but our mental self. myself, I will come out of it victorious. See, I told you, victorious, but filled with a deep and unforgivable shame. Now that the wood is back on site, ready to be used for my super secret, super cool, super 100 likes on this video or nice share project, it's time we check up on our pigs, and something tells me that we should have done it sooner. Well, this only confirms what I thought. We should have probably come back to top up the grain silos which have run empty. People always say only the strong survive. But looking around, all the weak runt pigs have survived and the big fat ones have died, which just tells me it's time to update that saying. It should read, only the weak survive, as they're not afraid to eat the strong. Let's not learn from our mistakes and leave the pigs to fend for themselves. We can go and find some new and pointless tasks to distract us from our real responsibilities. I think now would be a good time to buy more storage boxes for all this meat we have laying around. Oh, this is unusual. Why is there a deer guard in the entrance to the hardware store? Maybe I've angered some higher being by killing a bear, quite a few deer, a lot of chickens, my grandfather, and all those pigs.
Hold on, what did you just say you killed?
All those pigs?
No, before that.
A lot of chickens?
No, after that.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway, back to the deer. Let's try to make the problem go away by ignoring it. No, it won't. Now it's a bear. But wait, what if this is the baby of that bear I killed, and now it's just scared and alone? Well, you're coming home with me whether you like it or not. Get on the trailer. Yep, just like that. Oh gosh, this isn't good. Okay, well, wait right here. Don't move. I'm going to get the truck to get you out of here. I'm coming, bear. Hold on. Okay, so we'll just attach the trailer and we're good to go. Nice. This is working well, except when he moves and jumps out. We'll just get him. Okay, he's on the car. Mate, get down. Come on, get down. Whatever. I'll drive you this way. Okay, yeah, that doesn't sound healthy. I appear to be stuck. Let's just reset the car. Great, that didn't do anything. You're being a real pain, you know. This is going much better now. Yeah, that isn't helping Boris. Oh, I named the bear Boris, by the way. For God's sake, Boris. Okay, I'll admit that was pretty fancy. Boris, we aren't going to be friends if you can't play nicely. Whee! Ah, you bugger. Okay, he's back on the car. Nice. I don't think he can hurt me through the metal. Ah, so he can. Well, excuse me, Boris. Okay, this is a pretty one-sided fight. You know what? F this, I'm going home. Waking up on a piss-stained mattress was a bittersweet moment for me. It was nice to open my eyes to see so many familiar faces. However, I never truly felt like I belonged here. Ignoring the fact my grandfather never owned a ranch and was only known as the town lunatic, I was at the end of the day trespassing and assuming someone else's identity. I needed to be living my own life, following my own dreams and aspirations. I just feel like now that I'm at the ripe old age of 35 and having already made a huge success of this in every way possible, it was time for me to retire. Another thing that brought me to this conclusion was the fact that the pigs were starting to become possessed with the spirits of their ancestors and levitate around the house at night. Having no grandchildren, children, or friends for that matter, I have no one to leave this ranch to, so we will handle it in the same way I handle most things in my life and destroy it beyond recognition. It's time we clean this place up and sell the meat that we have. We can start by releasing the remainder of the pigs. Yep, releasing. Humanely. Don't say a word, little piggy. Next, rather than clean the house, we'll just go ahead and tear it down. It's easier and slightly more fun this way. Also, without the barriers of the walls, it will be easier to gather the meat into piles. I guess we can start turning some of it into sausages, but I doubt I will do it for too long as I find it incredibly dull. This is coming from a guy who threw 45,000 cups on the floor. In fact, the only thing I find more dull than this is the period between when I wake up and go back to bed. Okay, I've done as much packing as I can stomach, and just like my pockets, the truck is full of dead animals. We can probably bring the car and trailer along to be able to do this in one trip. I know what you're thinking, the truck is full. How will you get the UTV into it? I just will, okay? Logic goes out the window when you're a pink man running a pig farm. I'm not really sure who will buy all of this meat, especially as I'd left it on the floor of the house for weeks on end, while pigs ate, drank and crapped on it. If only we knew a burger place that had very, very low standards. Well, transporting the meat went smoother than I'd expected. Yep. So smooth. Great, we've sold all the meat for a rather pitiful amount considering how long it took for me to box it up and turn it into wieners. However, the cost of living in this game is pretty low. So what does a newly found 150,000 heir do with his wealth? Well, he lives out all the biggest and most secret dreams he has. I've always wanted to own a truck company, so we'll start by buying a fleet of trucks. I don't really have anything to use them with, but who cares about that? I just like the idea of being the biggest mother trucker around. Oh, I think they like each other. Let's celebrate our new business with a traditional fireworks display. By traditional, I mean not, and by fireworks, I mean trucks. Next, we'll build a house for our family to live in. So this is the kitchen, the living room. Under this truck is the kids' bedroom. Kids, hold on a minute, we've been over this. I'm meant to be leaving, not considering a family. Oh well, goodbye house. Not all the dreams I have are selfish. In fact, a lot of them aren't even about me. One of my biggest dreams is to buy all the horses that are destined for the dog food market and release them back into the wild. Run free, little horses. Run free. It really brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it? Oh, I've just killed one. Whoops. Wow, that's a really weird ragdoll animation they have. Is it just this one or do they all have... no, they all do. Wasn't I meant to be saving these? Quickly moving on, we can make up for our little accident by buying some more chickens, which undoubtedly will die of stupidity. I'm not very good at this being selfless thing. I guess the only reasonable thing left would be to exile ourselves to a faraway land. Well, as far away as the map allows. Graham, I named the horse Graham by the way. Graham, I'm sorry about this, but if I'm going to suffer, you're going to suffer right alongside me. That's called being selfless. Okay, here we go. Oh, turns out you can fall into oblivion as long as you're riding a horse. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video about, what was the video supposed to be about? Pigs? Something to do with pigs. I can't remember. Yeah, I feel like I might have misled you at the start of the video. Sorry about that.